Hi everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, ABAA. Today I decided to just come outside and kind of have some fun at the park and decided what's the better way of celebrating that than filming a YouTube video. I know it has been quite a while since I've been on my YouTube channel. The reason for that is because I have been trying to finish off my program, and I finally did last month. And also I was on vacation and just working and getting like a whole bunch of unrestricted assignments complete. And that is kind of the reason why I even came on this video, or am creating this video to begin with, because I wanted to talk to you guys about some unrestricted assignment ideas in case you may be stuck or you're at that process in your BCBA program. So without further ado, here we go. Alrighty, so before I actually get started, I did want to provide you guys with a disclaimer of I'm not your BCBA supervisor, so I don't want you guys to take this list and think, okay, all of these ideas could apply to me just because I said it. I don't want to be held liable for that. So definitely review this list with your current supervisor and see whether or not they would accept these activities as unrestricted hours before you even get started on them. Also, I know the BCBA have their own definition of what unrestricted assignments are, and I'll have it posted right here. Yes. So, but the thing is, I also have like my own personal definition of what unrestricted assignments are, and I wanted to share with you guys that unrestricted assignments are assignments in which you complete without your client present that assist the overall treatment plan for your client. And also, let's get started with number one, is reading ABA-based articles and writing the summary about those articles. So I'm sure you guys are aware that there are like countless articles or different types of names of articles in the ABA field. To name a few, there's like Springer, JABA, J-A-B-A. There's also HOVA, and I'll provide those links below just so in case you guys are not aware of those articles. They are research based. So while you read them and while you read those articles, and then you also apply those articles to your client in which they are related, the article topic is related to your client, you can write your summary about what you've read and what you've learned about that article, and also how it could be applied to your client. So those are a good opportunity, and also like digging into some research on how the research that you're doing can actually improve either the treatment plan for your client or also the program for your client. So moving on to number two, attending virtual CEUs or continuing education units. And you're probably thinking, CEUs, aren't those just for BCBAs? Technically, yes, but also no, especially the virtual ones. They are open to the public for whomever wants to pay for it, if you have to pay, or if they're free to attend to just learn something about the related topic of ABA. The reason I like these is because they are ABA based, obviously, because it's designed for BCBAs, and also they provide you with a different perspective of things you may not encounter on a regular basis in the field. For example, one recent one that I attended was talking about anxiety and how anxiety can be broken down in terms of operationally defining it as behavior. Although we don't really, it's that blurry line of, okay, is anxiety really ABA based, or is it like more psychological? So the way how that speaker broke it down is anxiety could be behavior analytic if you break down what anxiety looks like. If you broke down what anxiety looks like and operationally defined it. I thought it was really interesting. Along with that, I'm using some sunlight. So along with that is you definitely want to get your supervisor's consent on whether or not they want to consider using CEUs as your unrestricted assignments, because I don't want you to waste your time. I did reach out to the BACB's on board to verify whether or not it could be used, and they provided me a very vague answer saying it was pretty much up to my supervisor. Now I do know that they have a list of saying things that are not considered unrestricted, and that's actually attending an in-person conference. And so that just goes back to my disclaimer of making sure you get it verified with your supervisor before you actually attend these virtual CEUs. and proceed with that. Relate to your clients, either previous clients or current clients, so it's relevant to you. And then you write your summary about what you learned, what it was about, and how it relates to your client, and how you can use it in order to like create a treatment plan, program plan for your client. Websites that I use, and I will provide those links below, is Study Notes ABA and also Rethink. So number 3 is participate in assessments. So I'm sure you are aware of that in ABA there's like countless amounts of different types of assessments that you could participate in. We have reassessments, we have the VB map assessment, we have the initial assessment, we have the ABLES, we have the EFLs, the AFLs assessment, the FBA's assessment. All right, so definitely this field is no short of assessments at all. So definitely taking the initiative of being a part of these assessments is a great plus. And also, along with your BCBA, with completing these assessments is also a great plus as well. The thing is with some of these, and actually most of these assessments, it starts prior to being with your client. Perhaps, let's say the initial assessment with a client, you will definitely need to be a part of like the interviewing the caregiver and having them provide you like some information, like a little background knowledge of your client prior to working with that client for sure. The different types of assessment varies from different type of populations that you work along with. So definitely having a good experience overall with the different types of assessments is very beneficial for sure. So you can pretty much be a very well-versed BCBA in the future. Number 4 is attending group trainings or ABA training sessions. Trainings could be perhaps if your current job provides you with like RBT trainings. I am fortunate enough that my company actually does this like monthly, and obviously the topics are ABA based and it's led by a BCBA, and it pretty much is in training to like perfect your skills as an RBT. And if you wanted to, you could take notes as you attend, also like write a summary on that. If you are not currently an RBT yet and you are looking for an RBT position, one interview question you should consider is asking your potential employer if they do provide these monthly trainings, just so you could also like continue to learn as an RBT, and also by utilizing that time as unrestricted hours as well. Moving on to number 5 is participate in parent trainings. So we all know that in order for our treatment plans to be very effective, it takes a village, aka that team of having the parents' input in the behavioral plan and treatment plan as well, along with being like an active listener in the parent to therapist meetings. You can also take the initiative of telling your BCBA, hey, I would like to perhaps train the parent on program, and you can do that using like the BST module, the behavioral skills training module, or you could pretty much take the lead in the meeting of saying like what the client is doing great, what they're improving on, what might be some needs for some changes in like the future for your client as well. Mentioned the BST, and again that does mean behavioral skills training, and that is just a particular type of training in which is used in ABA, and it involves teaching new skills and behaviors through a systematic process of providing information, modeling, role-playing, feedback, and reinforcement. And it's like, in other words, it's an effective way in providing training to the learner. So listen to the ABA-based podcasts and write summaries about the ABA-based podcast. So full transparency, I'm currently not aware of any ABA podcasts, so I actually don't listen to any, but there are some good ones out there, and if you know of any, please don't hesitate to comment below. Sharing is caring. Listen to those podcasts. As I mentioned, you would write a summary about what you listen to. You would use the time that you attend or listen to the podcast, and also the time that it took for you to complete that summary as well. Number 7 is training others like RBTs, caregivers, parents, and teachers. So that kind of ties into like the training parents or the parent meeting. In terms of training like an RBT, perhaps like your company does something in which when a new RBT is onboarding, you can provide like some training on how you conduct your own session with your client. And that could be beneficial because what you will be doing is just showing them what they have already learned from like their 40-hour training and perhaps their previous experience, and how it could be beneficial to how you conduct your session as well. Keep in mind, every session is different, every client is different, and also when you are providing that training, and especially if it's during a session, you have to be careful of like the amount of time that you're using to train the RBT and the amount of time that you are providing direct service to your client. Number 8 is create client programs, goals, behavioral plans, and share them with the BCBA. So that is a major part of what being a BCBA is about. Creating goals, recreating goals, creating treatment plans for your client. So definitely having a great practice on that skill to master it and be well off with it is very beneficial. I recommend that you get as much, well, not just training, but take advantage of this process of like these unrestricted hours and activities, and getting as much experience in writing behavioral goals and treatment plans. And definitely take advantage to the fact of you have a BCBA supervisor around in order to edit those goals and perfect them. So when you do become a BCBA, writing these treatment goals and plans will not be completely brand new to you. 9 is review funder reports with the BCBA. And the funder reports includes the progress data, skill acquisition, and behavioral reduction process on the client. So this is a great opportunity for you to provide insight on how the sessions are going with your BCBA, and how you guys can look at data and compare how you as the RBT is running the program, and the BCBA could provide you some insight on how the program could be improved, and you guys can analyze the data and see the trend on whether the behavior is increasing or decreasing, or if the skill is increasing or decreasing, and how to provide you with some good feedback on how in order to improve that program or behavior. Number 10 is create graphs based on data collected. So I'm sure you are also well aware that in ABA there are so many different types of graphs available. We have the ABA graphs, we have the ABAB graphs, we have the BABA graphs, we have the change criterion graphs, we have the multiple baseline graphs. There are countless graphs. So definitely having as much experience like creating those graphs, even if like your company utilizes a software that you may not need to, having some experience in your pocket of how to make it in case you work for a company that you have to make it from scratch, or perhaps like the software the program went down and you don't like how the graph looks. That is definitely a skill that you would like to master, and you can utilize that as unrestricted hours for sure. Now, I hope that this video was useful, and thank you for bearing with me, especially with the noisy background. Just wanted to try out something different today. And my little takeaway message is to endure the process, or even just trust the process. So while I was in grad school, if at times it felt as though I was not going to be able to be done with this whole program, but I just kept on saying the mantra of just trust the process, and it helped me through that. So that's my little takeaway message for you, is to trust the process, and eventually it will be done and it will be completed, and you'll be on your way of becoming an amazing BCBA. Good luck to you in everything you do. Bye!